Okay, I think we're live. Hello. Welcome. Oops, there we go. Welcome, Libronauts. If you are new here, my name is Elise of Literally Elise, both on YouTube and Bookstagram. And this is Libronauts. We are a science fiction book club. We meet January through October, and every month we talk about a different book within the sci-fi genre. And it's not all space. We talk about multiverses. We talk about AI, robots, dystopian, time travel. We talk about all of it. So if you're new here, welcome. Please say hi in the comments. And then, this month we read, well, I say this month, last month in May, we read The Ministry of Time. I almost wanted to say The Time Ministry.
Yeah.
The Ministry of Time by Kaliane Bradley. And my co-host this month is the lovely Hannah of the Teachers TBR. Hello. Hannah, you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. Hello, everybody. My name is Hannah from the Teachers TBR. I have a YouTube channel as well, and I am the Teachers TBR on YouTube and on Instagram. And this is definitely a step out of my comfort zone. I don't usually read sci-fi or anything like that. I have read maybe dipped my toes in sci-fi a few times, but not that any that I can really recall. But I guess I will get into like our general thoughts later. But it was definitely it was a different book for me. It was a different book for me, but I'm so excited that Elise asked me to do this. So.
Yeah, I love that sci-fi is not really a genre that you read a whole lot, but thank you for stepping out of your comfort zone and joining me. So what genres do you typically read? You read a lot of fantasy, right?
I dip my toes in a little bit of everything. It doesn't really, if I like to stay in my romance and thriller mode most of the time. I do love cozy mysteries, and I do love like literary fiction, and I'm dipping my toes more into romantasy and fantasy. I'm not quite like on the totem pole with everybody else yet, but I'm definitely making my way up there. So.
Yeah, for sure. And speaking of cozy, you also have a book club, right?
I do. I run a bi-monthly book club called Comfy Cozy, and it's not a book club that focuses mostly on cozy mysteries. It's more so like just all cozy things. We do like crafts and reading and all sorts of fun things over there. So if any of you are curious, check it out.
Yes, for sure. And once everything is uploaded to YouTube, I will make sure to have all the links for Hannah, her YouTube, her Instagram, and her book club as well. So be sure to check that out.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. All right. So if you guys in the comments have read the book, let us know. What did you think? What did you rate it? We're going to talk about the synopsis of the book, spoiler free, and then we'll kind of transition into spoiler territory. So that would be a good time to hop out if you've not yet read the book. But first, let's see. We've got a couple people here. Hello, welcome. I don't recognize you, I don't think. So if this is your first time, welcome, and thanks for stopping by. And we've got Sam. Hey, ladies. Unfortunately, didn't get to this one, but can't wait to hear what y'all thought of it. Awesome. Okay. So the synopsis. I will take a stab at this one. So to be completely honest, for Maddie's Mystery and Mayhem, I always want to call it Murder and Mayhem, but I'm pretty sure it's
Mystery. I mean.
Yeah. For her readathon that she did all throughout the month of May, there was a prompt towards the beginning of the month you can only like submit a book for points that was a sci-fi. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's a perfect opportunity to bang this one out. And I did, like, in a single day. So needless to say, it's been a few weeks since I read it. So bear with me. I'm going to use the synopsis in the book. But the Ministry of Time is basically this government ministry that are running experiments. They're trying to determine if they brought people from history to today, which of course is time travel, how does that affect the human body? How does that affect this, time-space continuum, basically? So it's very experimental. We have our main character, and she is someone that they call a bridge, and she works for the ministry, and they are assigned to all of these historical expats to basically be like their friend, to guide them through current day, because obviously a lot of these people are coming from a different century, so they're not familiar with our customs nowadays and the technology and everything. So that's kind of where we enter the story, is we meet this bridge and we meet her historical expat, Commander Gore, who, by the way, I have a crush on Commander Gore. Oh my goodness.
Number one fan over here.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just kind of a look at their, if you guys can hear all that noise, my dog's in his crate and he's got like long nails, so he keeps like scratching at it. So if you hear a lot of background noise, that's what's going on. Sorry about that. But yeah, so we're just kind of following them. Day-to-day stuff. We meet some other characters, some other people that work at the ministry, other historical expats. And we also get like some snippets in history of when Commander Gore was like in his current time, which I thought was kind of cool. It added a bit of historical fiction twist to this as well.
And I looked up like those specific, something in this book did actually happen. Like one of the historical events actually did happen. And I thought that was really neat that she threw that in there.
I know.
Think in addition to our where were they going? Through the Arctic? They were that actually happened.
Yeah. And I can't remember, did somebody post that in oh my gosh, I'm totally blanking on words right now. What is wrong with me? Let me have this.
I think somebody did talk about that in the Discord.
Yes, Discord.
Things like that. I didn't remember that, but I did hear somebody, because I was looking up like how other people felt about this book, and that was one thing that she really liked, is that she threw in like a real time event.
Yeah, because I think he himself, like Commander Gore, was the person that was real.
And that might be also in the author's note. I'm pretty sure she put that in the author's note too.
That very well could be as well. See, usually I wait to read these books until right before the live show, and this time I didn't, and I kind of wish I did.
It makes a difference. It really does.
It does. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is going to be a struggle. So for those of you that have read it in the comments, if you've read it more recently than we have, because you read it a few weeks ago as well, right? Like more towards the middle of the month?
Yeah, about 2 weeks ago.
Okay, yeah. So Hannah and I are a little rusty, so help us out. I did read it, didn't hate it, probably around 2 stars. Okay. I love how subjective star ratings are, because like for me, I'm like, oh my gosh, 2 is like, I hated it. Get it away from me. And she's like,
right.
Oh, I didn't hate it. It was fine. Hello, April. Didn't get to this, but I'm here for the discussion. Awesome. Well, welcome. Thanks for stopping by. We've got Wendy. Just wanted to say hi. Didn't read this one. Probably will never get to it. That's fair. But thanks for saying hi. I appreciate it. I'm Stina from Skeleton Key Books. Awesome. Hi, Stina. Just found y'all. I'm on my work phone and apparently too far from the router to get a solid signal. Oh, no. Well, thank you so much for joining. I appreciate it. I was more interested in the actual historical event. Yeah. Which I think is kind of cool, because especially for people who sci-fi is not your favorite genre, it's nice. I mean, this book had the historical aspects, and there was some romance involved. So it was kind of a nice blend of genres, which could be good for people who are just trying to experiment with sci-fi.
Yes, for sure.
So speaking of that, what were some of the aspects that really stood out to you as being part of the sci-fi genre in this book?
Like I said, I don't read a ton of sci-fi, so you're probably way more read about this subject than I am. But I mean, obviously the big one is the time travel element. And I think also another one that stood out to me is the emphasis on technology and the advances of technology, of what we can do with technology. And basically how the world is our oyster with technology. Like we can get all of this accomplished and all of this done in this futuristic vibe sort of thing with all of these things that we can do with technology. So, but again, you're probably way more well read on sci-fi than I am, but that's what stood out to me.
Yes, for sure. And so, guys, at this point, we are going to be talking spoilers. So if you don't want to be spoiled, thank you for coming, but hop out so the book's not ruined for you. Bye. So, yes, definitely the time travel aspect. And then also, as we find out later in the book, there's also a little bit of like multiverse or parallel universe. The whole what is it called? Like Schrodinger, I can't remember how to pronounce it. Schrodinger's cat or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Where
I know
it's like, yeah, like a certain decision is made, and until that decision is made, like there are like these infinite amount of possibilities, and then once you make a choice, like it kind of branches off, but it also branches off all the other ways as well.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we do kind of learn that the reality that we're reading in the book isn't the only reality that's taken place. So I thought that was really awesome, and we'll talk more about that later on in the discussion. But that was a huge one that stood out for me. And then yes, like you said, like the technology, because it felt current day, but
Yeah.
at the same time, there was so much that wasn't, you know. So it's, I guess, near future, but I feel like it. Okay, did they ever tell us what year it actually was? I don't
That's so
remember.
strange to remember because I know he was from like, wasn't he from the 1800s? And then this was modern day.
Yeah.
So whatever modern day was whenever she wrote it, I guess. But I never found out what year. I also looked that up.
Yeah. But it's like, it's weird though too, because while it felt modern day, there was still kind of a vibe of a little historical. Like, I don't know why, but trying to think back, I get like 1950s vibes almost. And
I think
I don't know.
she did really do that with her writing too, of like some language that she would use of like Old English almost, where it felt vintage. Like it didn't feel like words that we would use today.
Yeah.
So I think that she made that very, like she interweaved the two together.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Let's see here. There's a big difference between didn't hate it and it was fine. That's true. Very fair. I read a lot of sci-fi, so much of this felt hand wavy. I rolled my eyes a lot. Yeah, I think compared to like, you know, space opera and like really heavy sci-fi, this is very light in comparison. I would definitely agree. Okay. I always lose my spot going back and forth between the questions and the comments. All right. So, being that it's a sci-fi, being that we are talking about a government agency conducting some questionable experiments, I guess how can we connect this to the real world? Like, what real world issues did this book critique or poke fun at? Did anything kind of jump out at you?
Yes, I honestly felt like there was a lot that this book like didn't cover. There was so many things sprinkled in there, like commentary on certain things. A big one that I wrote down a couple actually, like pros and cons of technology, how we depend on it so heavily, but it also can backfire in so many different ways. And then there were also a couple of instances of racism throughout the book that I took note of. And then the fact that not everyone in power has your best interest in mind, and what that kind of looks like. And then the big one that stood out to me was that I can apply to like real world that I see every day is like the moral compass is less than gain, of like what I want and what I need is more important than my morality, and trying no matter what to do what I need to do, it takes trump over my morality. So that's just a couple of things that stuck out to me. But yeah, those are the things that stuck out to me.
Yeah, no, those are all great points. I'm trying to think like what I could add because you covered a lot of it. To be honest, that was awesome. I mean, definitely, and I guess I don't know. Oh gosh. I just keep the thing that I thought of the most, I think, was just forcing somebody to be in a situation that they don't want to be in.
Oh,
Like
that's a good one.
these expats from history, like they didn't volunteer for this.
Mm-hmm.
And they really don't have a choice. So in a way they're prisoners. They're
Yes.
treated well for the most part, but they're still, they're against their will. So that yeah, that irked me a lot, I think. um
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, I don't know. That was kind of the big one
It
for
just
me.
goes back, like, to what I was saying about the morality thing. Like, what glitters is not always gold, and what people say is good for us doesn't always mean that it's actually really good.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
I think that she did a good job of, like, sprinkling throughout the book of just kind of poking fun at those things. So,
Mhm. Yeah. And I think it's interesting too, like the racism aspect. Because if I recall, like it wasn't necessarily nefarious or mean spirited, but
mhm.
still, at
Yeah.
least the things that I'm remembering, I'm sure there were, but it was just, you know, the character that was saying the things that they were saying, I think meant them in a nice way or maybe an observant way, but it was still
Yeah.
racism nonetheless.
Mm.
And I think it's interesting that the main character, she's Cambodian British. The
Yeah.
author, I believe, is as well. Yeah, she's British Cambodian. Um, so I thought that was cool, especially with this being her debut novel. It kind of makes you wonder, like, was she kind of envisioning herself as the MC?
I kinda got that too,
Yeah.
especially when I found out that she was also British and Cambodian. Um,
Mhm.
like, did she write about her own experiences through this
Exactly.
fantasy, through this sci-fi world?
Yeah.
Mm,
Yep.
for sure.
All right. I haven't actually seen Kate and Leopold, but I feel like this was a lot. Yeah. Oh my, have you seen that? It's
Mm,
Hugh Jackman and oh gosh, is it Meg Ryan? I can't remember who
Hugh
the lead lady
Jackman?
is. I'm pretty sure. Maybe
I
I'm
love
crazy.
Jackman.
I'm
Is it
pretty
a
sure
movie?
it is, yes. And it's really sweet. He's like from history and something
Oh,
happens and he
fun.
winds up in her time. And yeah, it's a cute movie.
Oh,
Kate
that sounds so good. I may have to look them up.
and Leopold.
I wonder if it's the same kind of thing where they have, like, um I wonder if it's, like, as, like, sci-fi as this one, or if it's just, like, a time travel thing.
It's more fantasy romance. I don't think there's really a sci-fi aspect to it. Did I say sci-fi? Fantasy romance.
Yeah.
Modern day executive, 21st century woman driven to succeed in the corporate world. Leopold, he's the third Duke of Albany from the 1800s. So what happens? When a rip in the fabric of time thrusts Leopold into present day. So it's kind of just like a crazy thing that happened.
Oh my gosh, that sounds so good.
Yeah, it's really cute. I haven't thought of that movie in so long. Thank you, Tina.
Is
That's
it
a
an older movie?
a little bit, yeah. I'm gonna say, oh, it's from a few years ago, and it's from like
2001.
2001. So I was 11 years old when that came out.
Oh my gosh, it looks so good. Okay, I am definitely adding that.
Add it to your watch list for sure.
Thank you.
Okay, so could you imagine something like the ministry happening in our world if they were conducting these experiments, pulling people from history? And do you think it would ever work? Not necessarily logistically, but as far as morally.
Personally, I think that eventually we will probably try and do something like this, just because I feel like the human race cannot stand that we can't control something. I feel like time is one of those things that's just beyond our reach. Like, we cannot control time. Like, in my belief, like, there's no way that we can get a hold of time and control it. And so, do I think that it could ever work? I mean, even if there was a possible chance of time travel, I feel like humans would use it so much to their advantage that it would just implode on itself. So for me, no, I don't think it's possible. And could it ever work? No, just because the human race can be so corrupt, as we can see in this book, that they use it for their own personal gain. So that's a no for me.
Yep. I would have to agree. I think even if something is discovered, like, humans would just destroy it and mess up the entire world. And it would not be good.
You would like to think that something like that, oh, cool, but it actually wouldn't be very beneficial to anyone.
Yeah, no, that would never work. Oh, Stina, she was just like, sorry if I'm behind. No worries. We're just, it's more casual. Yes, we'd mess it up somehow, definitely. 100%.
We're not good at keeping good things going.
Someone somewhere would mess something up for sure. Okay, so what they do is they make it sound ethical, right? They're like, this person would have died anyways in their own timeline. So we're helping them. We're, giving them more time. But at the same time, it's experimentation on human beings, because I feel like Commander Gore, he was like best case scenario. He didn't really have anything bad happen. Like, there were a couple things that were mentioned, like things not going right at all to the suffering of the person. So I guess in your opinion, like, were the practices ethical? Did the ministry do all that they could to make it best case scenario? Or, is this just like totally, I don't know, not a good situation 100%? Like, is there any good to it?
Me personally, going back to what I said a couple of minutes ago, I think that we like to think that we're doing good in all of the things that we try to do. And I think that in this ministry, they thought they were doing good, and they really tried to paint it gold in saying, but we're helping them. We're giving them a second chance. I'm pretty sure that came up multiple times. We're giving them a second chance at life. And if you say that, well, of course somebody wants a second chance. Like, why wouldn't they? Who wants to die, But in my own, and I have to pull up from my own personal beliefs and my own personal convictions, there's no tempting fate, and there's no tempting how we're going to die. And I think by messing with something as divine as that, I think it can get really messy. And I think that when you mess with something like that, then you become fully in control, and it never works out. When human beings get involved, like we've said, it never ever works out. So in my mind, no, this was not ethical. I think that in the end, it created more trouble for these people than if they just would have just went with the way that their life was supposed to pan out. So no, it was not.
Yeah. And like, I do think that they did a lot of good, in the sense that they could have done more, to be honest. But I feel like they, pairing the expats up with a bridge and trying to make them comfortable, trying to make sure that they have what they need, they probably felt like they did their due diligence. But even if physically speaking, this person was able to come to the modern time from their timeline in one piece and without any major weird things happening. Like, you also have to think of the psychological effects. I mean,
Yes.
even just going to a different country can be extremely, like, such a culture shock, even if it's similar to your own place, you know, be it their customs or language. Like, I studied French in college, and I finally went to Paris for my 25th birthday, and I was confident. Like, I studied the culture of France, and I was pretty well versed in the language, not fluent. I had like the entire map of Paris and all the arrondissements like memorized. I'm like, I've got this. That was such a culture shock.
Oh,
You
I'm sure.
know?
I'm
Oh,
sure it was.
it's just different. So I could only imagine somebody coming from the 1800s to modern day where women wear pants and there's cars and computers and these mysterious boxes that play music at any whim, you know?
Yes. And I
So,
think that that is another thing, like, for the question above, like, when we talked about real world problems, like, at what cost do we give up our mental health?
yeah.
Like, okay, but you can do this, this, and you can work 60 hours. You can work 900 hours this week. But at what cost is that to our mental and moral health? And I think that that is exactly what happened here. Like, "But this is so good. This is good for them, and we're helping them. We give them a bridge." And it's not it's not morally there, and it's just not ethical.
Yeah.
So, I agree with everything you said.
Okay, so I have a question for the audience and for you, if you recall as well. I don't remember, and I'm sure I tabbed quite a bit. I'm sure one of these tabs points it out, but does anyone recall what the big picture or the big goal was? Like, why were they trying so hard to figure out if time travel was something that could work, that they could perfect? Because I don't remember for the life of me. I need to take that off. It's too scrunchy.
I don't necessarily remember the big picture, um, because that was the reason that they had, like, there were spies involved, and, like, obviously, there was a big goal, and there was a big secret to behold, and they didn't want people getting a hold of that, but I don't remember, like, the big reason why.
Yeah.
Why they had all of this going on. And maybe it was just, like, so the British government could say, "We did it."
Maybe.
Because, I mean, I could, you know, any government would be like, "Wow, look what we did."
Yeah. It's like the moon race. Like, ooh, who's going to be the first one to the moon?
That's exactly how I felt reading this book. I was like, this is probably how this was.
Okay. I also did a lot of highlighting in here, which I don't usually highlight in my books. So that's interesting. I forgot I did that.
There were so many good quotes in here and so many funny moments too.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yeah, the humor, especially Commander Gore, his humor, it was very dry and very gentlemanly, but it was so funny. Like,
It's like aha moments of like, "Oh, that's what that does?" And was it when he was listening to music for the first time? Or was it the what did he do for I think it was like he was listening to music or something, or maybe it was like a I don't remember what it was, but he was like, "That little box plays music?"
well,
I thought that was cute.
I remember he was just amazed that you could play your favorite song at any given
Yeah,
moment, and you could
that's
listen
what
to it as many times in a row as you wanted, because in his time, like, you had to wait until they were performing live to be able to listen to that.
Yep.
So that was just, yeah, that was really cute. Actually, I think I have a key. Oh yeah, I do. So orange is funny. Okay, let's find a funny thing. Oh, the whole DILF thing.
Oh my gosh,
like, venturing out, and he's like, he comes back and he asks her, like, "What's a DILF?" I was called a DILF by this group of girls. What's that mean? It's like, "Honey, you're very attractive." That's what that means.
Oh, and his, like, just ignorance to it all and his innocence to it all was so cute and funny. Oh, I just wanted to give him a hug and just protect him from all the things.
Yes. Okay, what's another one? Oh, something about what are they doing? I don't remember. Something about an intercom, and he's like, "I'm horizontal. I'm as relaxed as I can be. Can you read my thoughts with this machine?" And the radiographer is like, "No, not at all." And he's like, "Oh, in which case I'm very relaxed, and I can assure you I'm thinking friendly things towards you." And like, really, he's not like the guy's biggest fan. Just like that kind of humor.
Oh, and he was such a gentleman to our female main character. He was so nice and polite. Oh my gosh, it was so cute. So cute.
Oh my gosh. You're spoiled. No one will ever take me as a wife. I'm so sorry for your loss. Oh my gosh. I kind of want to reread the book now just for him and his
I know.
Yeah, that's like my huge takeaway from this book is I love Unicorn.
Yes.
I read it a few months ago, but I don't remember there being a real plan, which is part of the problem. Okay, so maybe I guess that explains why we're like, huh, what was going on there? Okay.
I'm glad we're all in the same boat then.
No.
Well, maybe there really wasn't.
Right. Okay. We talked about that one. Talked about that one. Okay, this one. How would you react if you found yourself to be a historical expat brought out, like if you were teleported to the year 2263 right now?
I feel like I would be like, how do you initially react? Are you so confused at everything that's going on, or do you just think it's a dream? Honestly, I don't know how I would initially react.
Mm-hmm.
But if I like Commander Gore lived in this life for like a while,
Mm-hmm.
and then he found out that he was part of this plan.
Mm-hmm.
So if I was in his shoes and I found out like, oh, I've been living this life for a little while, and then I was part of this whole scheme, I would be really, really upset.
Yeah.
I would honestly feel embarrassed, and I would feel like somebody, I don't know, invaded my personal space and personal being, because I mean, that's just weird that somebody is able to control you that much. So I would be really upset personally.
Yes. I agree. And I think it might depend too on what timeline you came from. Like, I feel like he was pretty drastic. One of the other expats that we really got to know, she was like the really fun, outgoing one. She seemed to adjust pretty well.
Yeah, she liked it.
Yeah.
I think it was Maggie, maybe. I think that was her name.
Yeah, something with an M. I think you're on the right track.
But she liked it. She like got along well with the culture. So
yeah.
I mean, I guess some people would react different to different cultures.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I can't remember because I know it's not like instantaneous, like you blink and then you're in the like different timeline. Don't they have them? I don't know if they're like in a medically induced coma or some kind of sleep. Oh my goodness. My dog is being so loud right now. And then they kind of have to like wean them off of it. So I guess that part is good. Maybe going back to, did they do this the ethical way? Did they do everything that they could to make this as ethical as possible? And so that part as well, I think, was something that they did do well, was trying to ease them into it.
So yeah, and I do like the idea of having a bridge, because obviously that they're going to need some kind of help transitioning into this new world. but still, I just feel like that would be invasion of my personal space.
Yeah.
How dare you, like, take me out of my home? I don't
Yeah.
know. I would have a lot of questions, a
Mhm.
lot of questions that needed to be answered before I would be okay with it.
Yeah. Yes, 100%. Okay, so I love when twists happen in books, and there's at least one. There's only one that I really remember, but there's a pretty decent twist in this book. So what were any twists that you identified, and did they surprise you?
Do you hear this talking going on?
Look, very, very
Oh,
faintly.
crazy. There's, like, somebody talking in my house. I think it's something my husband is listening to, but I'm sorry. I just wanted to make sure that you guys were listening to somebody talking in my
No, no, it's like I had to strain my ears to hear it.
Okay. Okay, good.
Fine.
The twist was okay, I feel like and I'll get into this, but I feel like this book was very slow up until the very end.
Mhm.
And I feel like all the action was at the end, and I personally really loved the twist. Um, do we wanna, like, discuss what the twist was?
Yeah,
Okay,
go for
so I was really confused throughout most of the book of why this character did not have a name.
it. Mhm.
And when the realization of why she didn't have a name, it got me. I'm not gonna lie. It got me. And I actually like it brought it up like half a star just for that overall twist of the
Oh,
fact that
okay.
she was the one who was orchestrating the whole thing.
Mhm.
Um, and I believe her name was Adela.
Yeah,
Adela, right? And
yes.
I just really loved that part. I thought that part was really well done, and I
Mhm.
did not see that coming at all. I honestly didn't think that there would be a twist or anything like that, so it really took me off guard.
Yeah. Yeah, like, for a book to not be a thriller and still have a twist, that's, like, my favorite thing because it's like, it doesn't have to be a thriller or even, like, a high-paced book to wow your readers, and I think the author did such a great job with it because it took me by total surprise too. Like, I think I actually just saw where I noted, like, "What? Holy crap." Um, let me try to find it, but okay, yeah. I think 295, page 295. Well,
Mhm. It
that's
was, like, towards
basically
the end, like, one of the last things.
yeah, that's when she's like, "Year 1, future self and past self."
Mhm.
Um, but it made me go back because at the beginning, when we first meet the bridge, she's sitting with Adela, who is, like, her superior,
Yeah.
and she's making comment on how her name is so uncommon, but it's not Adela. Like, that's just what they call the superior. I can't remember what their actual name is. I think
I can't either. I just kinda remember the Adela part. I don't
yeah.
remember exactly did they give her a new
Well,
name?
I think they just started calling the superior Adela,
Yes.
but that's not, like, their original name.
Yeah. I could
But,
not remember to say
um,
much.
yeah, I'm like, maybe I'm confusing things, but regardless, at the beginning, the main character, she's, like, so surprised that this woman knew how to spell her name because she's like, "My name is spelled so like, it's such an uncommon name, people never spell it right, and now
Mhm.
we know why, it's because
Yeah.
it's her name too."
Yeah.
That part, I was like,
Got
"What?"
me. Excuse me? What do you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and then the other thing that, like, this part's not, I mean, I guess it is a twist, but this kinda leads into the multi-universe or parallel universe aspect where in that Adela's life, wasn't she married to Commander Gore and, like, they had a
Yes, she had
son?
a son.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but
That
in
was
the
another thing that I was like, "Oh my
I
gosh."
know, but, like, the one that we read, he got mad at her and didn't want anything to
Mhm.
do with her anymore,
Yep.
which was so heartbreaking, to be
Mhm.
honest, like, I mourned that.
I know. Can you imagine, like, Commander Gore telling you that he didn't love you anymore?
Mhm.
Okay.
Whew. Yeah. So, yeah, no, the the ending I thought was amazing.
It was. It made the book better for me.
Yeah, for sure. And I liked too that there wasn't the happy ending.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, you can't call this a romance, in my opinion, because there's no happy ending, but there are romance aspects. But just like, ugh, like I'm starting to get really like upset thinking about it again. Like, girl, you had him and now he's gone.
Yep, you messed up.
Oh my gosh. Hello, Leah Beth. Thank you for
Hi,
joining.
Leah. She loves this book, and I would like to
Oh.
know, Leah, if you're still in the chat, I would like to know why you loved it so much. Like, as much as you can type, like, why, what just did it for you?
Yes, do tell. Given the current state of the world, I can't imagine the future will be at all pleasant. I have mixed like ideas about that. I feel like it's either going to be exactly what you said and just like not pleasant at all, or some drastic change is going to happen. And like we're finally going to all be happy. I don't know.
That would be so nice.
Yes, it would. Or like maybe the aliens will finally come and be like, you know what, you guys are failing at this.
Really
though. By the time I got to the twist, I was kind of hoping for something long. Really? Okay. Yeah. See, I'm more with Hannah. Like I was not expecting anything. I mean, I was still curious to know, like, okay, what's going on? Where's all this leading? But I didn't expect anything like that.
Yeah, it does make sense, like, going back of
Mhm.
why she did the things that she did and why it was set up that way, but I had no idea it was gonna go in this direction.
Yeah.
So I liked that part.
Yes, for sure. So this I think was the winner, I'm pretty sure, of the oh my gosh, is it 2024? It was the 2024 Sci-Fi Goodreads Awards.
Was it
I'm
really?
pretty sure. Let me double check real quick because now I'm worried that that's not the
I
case.
have seen a lot of people love this book. They really do. A lot of people are giving this 5 stars and
Mhm.
just loving it.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm curious, like what sets it. Did you give it 5 stars? Are you allowed to tell me that yet?
Um, we have a couple more
You're
questions
allowed to tell me
before
that.
we share our ratings.
But I am curious of why people give it 5 stars.
Yes, I'm curious as well because as I said before, like, yeah, it's sci-fi, but it's very light sci-fi.
Mhm.
So I don't know. But yes, it was the sci-fi genre winner for the Goodreads Choice Awards of 2024. So
Wow,
that's
that's
pretty cool. Okie dokie. I feel like I need to check on my dog real quick. When I'm like, okay, I think he's okay. When I'm gone, like when I leave him in there and I leave the house, I take off his collar, I take off his harness.
Mhm.
He's completely naked in there. When we're home and he's just in there for a little bit, like he's still wearing his harness and his collar, but there's like hooks on the inside, and there's been times where he gets caught
Oh, no.
and like he'll kind of start thrashing around. And my fiance and I were watching a movie. This was like a few weeks ago, and he was making a lot of noise because like he was getting too rowdy. So sometimes we tell him to go to his room, have a lie down, and it's like it's not a punishment. You just need to calm down because mom and dad need
Mhm.
to rest.
Yeah.
And he started thrashing around, and then he stopped, and we looked at each other and we're like, "That's weird." And then he did it again, and I'm like, "Okay, something's weird." And I got up and I looked, and he's all like, "Hi."
Oh.
Collar got caught on the hook, and he was trying to free
Oh my
himself.
goodness.
Oh my goodness. But anyways,
Yeah, if you need to check on him, you go right ahead.
I might just real quick. Like it's not intense, but I'm paranoid.
No, you're
So
fine. I might actually figure out what that talking is because it's, like,
okay.
right in front of me. It's freaking me out a little bit.
Okay, perfect. So we will be right back, guys. Okay, he's good.
It was a video my husband is watching in the next room,
Uh-huh.
and his headphones are in my purse, and so they're literally the voices are coming out of my purse.
Oh my
And
gosh.
it's the weirdest, creepiest thing that's going on, but he finally fixed it. It was freaking me out.
Wasn't he wondering why he couldn't hear it out of his phone?
I don't know what was going on. I guess, like, it was I really don't know how that was going on because he was watching it, and the headphones, I guess, are in the case.
Mhm.
I don't know, but
That's so funny.
voices were coming out of my purse. That's all I knew, and I was so creeped
Oh
out.
my gosh. That would be like, oh my gosh, if you were home alone and it was dark, yikes.
What's going
That
on?
horror movie. Okay, we got a couple more. Okay, where did we leave it? Okay. So Sam said, I actually love a tragic ending. So hopefully, like with books I read, I'll forget anything about it before I read it, with my Alyssa Bear. Oh yeah, same girl. But yeah, gosh, there's something about heartbreaking endings. Like I don't love it, but
doesn't always have happy endings, so it does make it more realistic.
yes, very true.
And that's kind of refreshing to read too. Like,
Yeah,
it doesn't always end perfect.
yeah. The twist was cray. Yes, it was. Because he's a husky, he'll find any way to cause chaos. Yep. My dog is a
Was
husky,
he
and that
hooked
is
on there?
what's that?
Was he hooked on there? On his
No, I gave him a bully stick in his bully stick holder. Because I'm paranoid he's gonna like try to swallow it all and choke. So he's at the very end of it. So he like holds it with his paws and then he like pulls up and like keeps letting go. So it makes like a thud thud.
Oh.
So that's what was happening when I was envisioning. He's like, help. Yeah. But yeah, that's very accurate. He can't be left home alone if he's not in a crate because he will destroy things. The first time we ever left him home alone, I ran up to the school. It was for a Halloween parade because we got him a few days before Halloween. And at my kid's school, it was their Halloween parade. It's like 3 minutes up the road. I'm like, okay, here's a treat. I had some ambiance going. I was like, I'll be back in like 30 minutes.
Oh no.
He had somehow gotten onto my dining room table. And I had a special edition Ninth House. Ninth House, is that what it's called? I always mess up the wording. Ninth House in a book sleeve.
Oh no.
The book sleeve was in the kitchen. The book itself was on the living room floor. It's destroyed. I mean, I can still read it. It's the cover that's destroyed.
Oh man.
Yeah. So I'm like, you are going to be in a crate every time we leave the house.
Oh man.
Forever.
Oh my gosh. When we first got Nugget, like obviously he was a puppy, so puppies like to chew things.
Yeah.
And I had written out a bill and it was on my like one of the tables in my living room, and it had the check in there. It was ready to go. It had the stamp ready to go. When I tell you, like, little shreds, he had shredded it like completely up. I was like, okay, well,
write a new check, I guess.
I hope that you didn't swallow my light bill.
Oh, yikes. Oh my gosh.
Oh, the things we do for our dogs.
Yeah.
Things we put up with.
A lot of people saw that twist coming. Seriously. How?
See that. I mean, maybe. I just don't see it, though.
Yeah.
That would be a hard one to figure out.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I guess you could just be like that good, but there wasn't anything like some twists are really obvious.
Mm-hmm.
And like I've definitely predicted twists before, but I feel like there was nothing that could have given that away.
And if it was classified more as a thriller, then yeah, I would be looking for something, but I wasn't even looking for a twist.
No. I do kind of wish I'd read this in print instead of listening to the audiobook, flipping back and seeing what happened would have helped me. Instead, it was just what I was moving on. That's true. Yeah, I did the audio, but I tandem read it with the book so that I could annotate and everything. And that's, I mean, honestly, that's my favorite way to do it. Like, I try to read physically, 100% physically, and sometimes I can. But other times, like, I'm so scatterbrained, like, it just helps keep me on track.
Me too. And I don't know how you could read a book like this with just audio, because like I get off track so quickly, and you can't get off track with this one.
Yeah. Or like, you would miss huge things. The twist was so good. Did you guys buy the love story? I loved the love story.
100%. I was buying it.
I was here for it 100%. Oh, I'm guessing you didn't, Leah.
I loved gore. So like anything that was going on with him, I was 100% there for.
Yeah. Yep. I did not get the chemistry at all. Guys, he's cute. Wait, my dog or Commander Gore?
Both.
Your dog too. Nugget, is that what you said his name was?
Yeah, all three. All three is the answer.
Yes. I loved it because it was extremely offbeat, but the ending quote slammed me. Forgiveness is time travel, where you have the power to go back to the exact moment of wrong and rewrite the future.
Oh, such a good one.
That's impactful. Yes. Paraphrasing. You did it very well. Also love the colorful language. Had to look up so many words. Yes.
Yes, me too.
And there were a few people in the Discord that noted that as well. Yeah. And it just like, for no reason too. Like, if I had any complaints about the book, that would probably be one. It's like, yes, using bigger words or flowery words like that can be nice from time to time, but it happens so much. And it's like,
it was overkill.
Yes. Like, she was trying too hard. Like, I'm sure this person does not actually walk around day to day and use this vocabulary. Maybe, but probably not.
Yeah.
Imagery was phenomenal. Yes. And the humor. Oh my gosh, it's my favorite. And I just remember too, like, I can't remember if they were on a bike ride or something, but they were, Commander Gore and his bridge, they were like by a river or something. And somebody said something about, if I pushed you in the river, would that be considered murder?
Yes. Yes. I love that part.
I'm cackling.
Oh my goodness.
I just appreciated how it felt like historical fiction, sci-fi, and romance. Yes. Yes, all three. I don't get it.
She meant to spell your name. I guess it was spell check or something didn't come through.
Oh, I see it. There we go.
Oh no.
That's funny. I love it. I'm going to start going by that name now.
Ackers.
Okay. Oh, okay. So we had like one more serious question. I forgot about this one. So did this book feel like a warning? Because a lot of times sci-fi will do that. It'll, have some kind of warning, like, hey, don't do this in the future because this is what's going to happen. Did you get that from this, or not really? Kind of,
yeah, but not in the sense of one day we'll do time travel. I think it was more so just, again, that I've said a couple of times, like, the morality of humans is not going to get any better. And I think a lot of it has to do with our advances in technology and what we can control. And I kind of got that vibe. I mean, it wasn't like a doom book, like, oh my gosh, this is like going to be a black hole of death. I didn't get that, but I did get a vibe of, well, this is what happens when you mess with stuff like this, not necessarily a warning, but just more so this could happen if you mess with things you probably shouldn't.
Yeah. Or it's like trying to have so much control on something as a government agency over people who don't want to be controlled. Like, so many things could go wrong.
Yes.
And everything goes up in flames. So
not everything needs our hand in it.
Yeah.
if we would just come to that conclusion.
Yeah. And like, to be 100% honest, like if time travel ever was something that maybe it's currently being worked on and we just don't know how advanced it is, I don't think government should have any place in that. Like, leave it to the scientists, leave it to the people who understand it and know what they're doing and can control it, not in the sense that they're controlling people, but they're controlling the outcomes
Yep.
to their abilities.
Because with that comes controlling people.
Yeah.
And making us the biggest and the best. And we've got control over this. And so I agree wholeheartedly.
Okay. So we kind of already touched on a lot of this, like what worked, what didn't. I feel like, recap for me, I guess. I loved the romance. I loved Commander Gore. The humor was awesome. The twist was awesome. So yeah, I thought it worked for me. It felt pretty believable because I feel like it didn't get super in the nitty gritty of the time travel aspect itself. So there's not really anything for us to debunk necessarily. So I think that kind of helped make it seem more believable.
Yeah, I think it was believable. I think what worked for me is the romance, because I personally really did feel the chemistry between the characters, just because like it wasn't there at first. They were just like kind of friends and getting used to each other. And I think the more time they spent together, the closer they got. And so I really personally loved the romance in the story. What didn't work out for me though is, and a couple of us have said it already, I didn't like how she tried to do so much. And I don't think it worked out for me. Is like, was this a romance? Was this a sci-fi? Was this a thriller? Was this a spy thriller? Like, and I can appreciate an author that tries to do those things. And I do think that she was trying to say something, and she did accomplish so many things in this book, but it was very messy and it was very, I think there was so many things she could have fleshed out more had she have focused on like just fewer aspects instead of trying to do it all at once. So that's me personally. Again, I know what she was doing. I know what she was trying to execute, but that didn't work out for me. So
yeah, I feel like that's something that debut authors, unintentionally do all the time. Like, oh, here's my chance. Like, throw it all in there.
It's like she had so many good ideas and easily could have made them in multiple different books.
Yeah.
But she tried to slam it all into one.
Yep.
But
if you want or like tragedy, read The Last Letter by Rebecca Yarros. Oh, have you read that?
No.
No.
I've heard people like sob at that book.
Really? Oh no.
Rebecca Yarros, so I mean, she has no mercy whatsoever.
That's true. That's very true. Yeah,
I'm scared.
I'd totally give it a go. Because that's just straight. Well, is it romance? It sounds like it's not happy ending, but
I think it's like she writes contemporary romance on the side, I think.
Okay. All right. Alas, my name's Alas now, not Elise being a type A dog mom. I actually just discovered, I did not fact check this at all, so don't quote me on this, but I saw like a reel talking about type C.
Yep.
And I'm like, that is me, because I'm very type A about so many things, but then I'm very type B about a lot of things too. And this video was just like, if you're a combination of both of them, then you're a type C. So yeah.
I'd like to think I'm a type C, but like my husband would so disagree with that.
Really?
Girl, the kitchen counter, nothing can be out of place.
You're just like type A all the way.
Yeah. Unfortunately, for everybody involved.
Yeah. When's your birthday? Are you a Virgo by chance?
No, I am a Capricorn.
Oh, okay.
I was born in January.
Okay.
So was he. So
really?
Both.
Ooh, that's an interesting dynamic. Yeah, I feel like Capricorn, I could see being that way as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Oh my gosh, I don't know what's wrong with my brain. Every time I go to like say a word, I can't say it. I think it was a warning about corruption in the power structures. Yes. If anything, that I think would be a big one for sure. Beginning was believable and engaging, but the farther along I got, the less I was willing to suspend disbelief. Okay. Okay. And you did 2 stars for this one, right? Is that what she said at the beginning?
Yeah.
Okay. Keisha, hello. Just popping to say hello to my 2 beautiful friends. Hi. Thanks for stopping by. Miss your face. Love you. I only ask about the love story because other people didn't like gore, but I loved it. Okay, good. I'm glad you loved it.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I was gonna say we might need to kick you out if you didn't.
Out. This is a Commander Gore fan club here.
Yes. Yep. Definitely agree that Commander Gore could have had better chemistry with her.
I feel like he kept her at a distance for a long time. But I also can see why. He was just very, very new to everything.
Well, I mean, she must have seemed like such an enigma to him because the women in his day, like, vastly different from from this person. So, like, yeah, I can kind of see that, like, but she was just I really did like who she was as a character, to be honest. Like, I wouldn't have wanted her to be any other way, but oh gosh, I don't know. Like, them not ending up together at the end, although we know that they do end up together in a different timeline. So
Yeah.
that kind of like helped a little bit, but I don't know. I don't know. The lady who wrote the book was an editor, so I bet the pressure was real. Really? No way. That's awesome.
That was probably also in the author's note that I like skimmed through.
Yeah.
I bet that pressure was on.
Like, this has to be perfect. And I feel like structure wise, like, I thought, it went pretty well.
For a
And
debut, I feel like, yeah, she
yeah.
did pretty good.
Yeah. And just how everything kind of like fit together at the end.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like takes a certain level of, intelligence and ability to be able to do that and
Yes.
still have a cohesive story that people
And
get.
still throw people off guard.
Yeah.
Like, you told a story and then threw a wrench in the thing, and I thought she did pretty well with it.
Yeah, I agree. Hi, I did. Thank you. I did it myself.
Oh my gosh.
My hair was so long and it was just getting really raggedy. And yeah, I just took some scissors to it. It's getting fixed on Friday. It's not terrible, but it's yeah, it needs a professional touch. So, but thank you. It feels a lot better having it shorter, and I feel like it. My mom, she said it makes me look older, and I looked at her like, "Excuse you," and she's like, "No, it's a good thing. Like, you look more mature, like in a good way." I'm like, "Okay."
Do you
Thank
think?
I enjoyed Gore's character, but I didn't get the whole love story. But
That's valid.
yeah. Where were we? Okay, believable. Okay. I didn't originally have this question, but I had a fan cast for one person, so I wanted to see, did you or anyone in the comments have a fan cast?
Listen, ever since you read the book first,
Mhm.
and when you put that in the Discord of, oh shoot, what's his name?
Henry Cavill.
Henry Cavill. How did I forget Henry Cavill's name?
His
I
looks
cannot
just blinded your brain. It's fine.
could not think of anybody else except for Henry Cavill. And like that specific movie that he was in and that specific facial hair, like that was Commander Gore to
Yes.
me. So you really came up with my fan cast.
I can't ever remember the name of that movie. It was a great movie. It was hilarious.
I don't think I've watched anything with him in it besides, I know, besides Superman. No, that's probably a lie.
what else has he? I mean, he's played in a lot. Superman. Oh yeah, Enola Holmes. I liked that one. He wasn't honestly in it like that much though. Argyle. He was what? He was in The Count of Monte Cristo. He must have been a kid. Oh wait, no.
What?
Wait, what? That's from 2000. No, he wouldn't have been a kid. That's from 2002. Who did he play? Albert Mondego. He must have been, yeah, he must have been a younger bloke anyhow. I'm gonna have to rewatch that now. Oh my
I don't
gosh.
even
Okay.
see that on here. Oh yeah, I do. Oh my gosh. 2002.
Huh. Well, if anyone is curious which Henry Cavill I'm saying I fan casted for this book, it's actually, interestingly, from the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. Let me try to get a pic. Oh my gosh, bear with me, guys. I'm not a very tech savvy millennial. Henry, nope, let's spell the name correctly. Henry Cavill. Okay.
I know. What is this? He doesn't have any facial hair in that picture. Let's put that away. What is going on?
Like I'd still take him that way, but I do prefer him with the facial hair. Why can't I get a picture of him from this movie?
What's it?
Oh, here we go.
Oh, Ungentlemanly Warfare. Yeah, like that is the best fan. Like, you should make movies, I think, with that fan cast. Like, that is literally Commander Gore.
Okay, I don't.
Yeah, that's the same picture I pulled up.
Oh, that's funny. Yes, this is Commander Gore, y'all.
Perfect.
I love him.
Literally perfect.
Yes, 100%. And like, for whatever. Oh, I think the first thing that was mentioned that made me think of him was it talked about him having like brown curly hair and I think a mustache, I'm pretty sure, or a beard at least. And just envisioning him from years and years ago. And that just popped into my brain immediately, like at the beginning of the story. And I love, because a lot of times, sometimes my fan casts, like they don't kick in until halfway or towards the end. Yeah. So I can't enjoy it. I got to enjoy the entire book envisioning him.
Me too. Thank you very much for your service.
You're welcome.
Like, literally perfect.
Agreed. Yes. Henry Cavill is hot. Oh my gosh, it's so funny. Have you guys seen those reels of people fan casting ACOTAR, and like literally every character is a different version of Henry Cavill?
Yeah. I feel like we're all guilty of doing that. Like, every single male main character is Henry Cavill.
Another one that I did for him was the housemaid, Andrew, the husband.
Oh, oh no.
I know, but
speaking of which, this has nothing to do with what we're talking about right now, but did you know that Frida McFadden is a brain surgeon?
Surgeon?
Like a brain, she works on people who have had brain injuries. And doesn't that make so much sense?
It does. I think when I first, I'm pretty sure The Housemaid was the first book, I almost said movie, the first book that I'd read by her. And that was one of my complaints, that like the writing just felt so elementary. And somebody mentioned that she did something with patients that had like brain injuries or whatever. And she was trying to write in a way that they could better understand. I'm like, oh, well,
and it's really like psychological too. Like, it's in your brain. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
I kind of love that, honestly.
Yeah, it puts things into perspective for sure.
It does. And now like I can overlook, if I'm looking for something, more simple, just kind of easier to consume. Yep. She's like the go-to. And it's nice because she comes out with like, what, 5 books a year, it seems? Yeah. Oh, Hugh Jackman. Okay.
That is a great one.
Especially because earlier she said it made her think of Kate and Leopold. So that makes sense because he was in that one. Okay. He would also be a good one, I think. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes. Superman Henry Cavill will always be my fave. And then they had to go and replace him. Like, what is that nonsense? No. Not my Superman.
No, my Superman.
Oh, he was Edmund's son in Count of Monte Cristo. Okay. Yeah, I figured he must have been, because he's only in his 40s, right? So he would have been like a teenager-ish,
Huh.
I think. Love that movie, but didn't realize it was Henry Cavill. Yeah, I completely forgot. I don't think I really like knew who Henry Cavill was the last time that I saw that movie. So, okay, yes, I could see him as well. Yeah, that would fit.
Okay, yeah, I
Yeah,
can see that.
yeah.
Maybe. I could see Chris Evans more than
Really?
Chris Hemsworth. Just I am a Captain America stan.
Are you?
That's another one that they replaced, which
Yeah.
it's fine. It's
Yeah.
fine. I like Hugh Jackman. I did not think about Hugh Jackman
Yeah,
and Henry Cavill. I think those are the top ones.
yeah, he didn't occur to me. Love the Chris Hemsworth. I don't know about Chris Evans. He's too goofy for me, and I feel
That
like
is true.
he's very like stoic and
That is true.
yeah.
He is very goofy.
Yeah. He's played rugged seafaring man roles before. Oh yeah, didn't he play like Moby Dick or something in the? I almost said remake. I'm assuming it was an older movie before that, but or something along those lines. I think similar to that. He was 17. Okay. Yep.
Hmm.
And I was only 12, so he's not that much older than me. Okay. I could also see Gore as a rugged Christian Bale. Oh.
Maybe I can kind of see that.
The standoffishness and like his ability to seem so unbothered by things, I could see. I'm not as attracted to him, but he's an amazing actor. And I think that could work. Chris Evans is too pretty boy, though. He's not edgy or rugged.
Valid. That is valid. Yeah.
What is that movie? Is it the Knives Out where he's like in like that cream sweater and he's just all like,
yeah, he's supposed to be the bad evil guy. He does not play it well because that's not his personality.
No. What's the guy who's in all those memes with the guy from National Treasure?
Nicolas Cage? How did you forget Nicolas Cage, Leah? But no, I could not see him as...
Oh, Pedro Pascal? Is that who you're talking about?
Is he in National Treasure?
No, but Nicolas Cage is, and the meme that comes to mind is the one where he's like looking at the guy and then Pedro's like, hi. Like, okay, yep, yes.
I can kind of see that too.
Yeah. Oh, I could see that. Oh, I like that. It's like he is goofy too, but he can play very stoic and that guy, I could see him. Yep. Okay. Oh, I love this. I think this is the first discussion where we agreed. Yeah. I think this is the first discussion that we've done like fan cast discussion, and I kind of love it. So I need to do this.
So fun. And some people are like, I can't think of people like a movie in my head, and I'm like, how do you read then? Like, how do you not picture people as people?
Yeah, like what do you see? You don't see anything? What are you talking about? Alrighty. Okay, so Kaliane Bradley, this is her debut novel. Should she write anything else in the future, would you read from her again?
I would read from her again if it were a romance novel.
Okay.
I feel like she would do really well at a romance novel or a thriller novel. I feel like she would do really well, especially like coming up with a twist like that. I feel like that was gold. That was pretty good. As far as like another book like this one, probably not. Just because again, I didn't love how jam-packed it was, full of just different stuff.
Yeah.
So I'd have to really go into it knowing exactly what I'm getting out of it to read from her again. But I would give her a try.
I think I'd have to agree. Like I wouldn't dive head first, like, oh, yep, read her, gonna read it again or read her again, it would have to like I'd have to be really intrigued by the synopsis.
Yep.
Because her writing, like it is pretty literary, and it's harder for me to get into literary, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, it would depend. It would depend. Yep. Same for Stina. Maybe it depends on if the premise grabs me. I'd have to see what kind of synopsis also to try her again. Okay. So yeah, sounds like we're all on the same page.
This one come out? Is it a new book?
I'm pretty sure last year was when it came out because yeah, I think it must have either last year or late 23 for it to have qualified for the Goodreads Choice Awards. Yeah, it says copyright 24. So,
wow. So this one did really well. I'm sure she's working on something else.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very likely. And I haven't looked to see if she's got anything in the works, but yeah. Need a thesaurus for sure. Okay. So, I know we mentioned Kate and Leopold. Was there another one? I feel like maybe there's another one, but were there any other books, movies, shows, games, even that you would suggest to people if they liked this book?
The time travel trope is really new to me, so I don't have a lot of recommendations for that. But as far as like futuristic vibes go, my movie recommendation would be Ready Player One.
Okay.
I love that movie so much, and it's basically about a guy who, well, a world basically that gets lost in these video games, and they're able to live through these video games, and it's so fun. It's such a fun movie, and it gives you that futuristic sci-fi vibe as well. And then my book recommendation would probably be Tomorrow Times 3, which is
Really?
also like a similar vibe to Ready Player One. It's no time travel or anything, but it gives me similar vibes of like this could possibly happen in the future.
Mhm.
But that's coming from someone who doesn't read a lot of sci-fi, so I don't have a lot of recommendations. But those books gave me similar those recommendations gave me similar vibes to this book. So those are my two for you.
Awesome.
Have
Yeah.
you
I like
watched Ready Player One?
I read the book. I've not yet seen the movie.
Oh, the movie's so good.
Yeah, the book, I'm pretty sure I gave that one 4 stars. However, I unhauled the sequel because I did not feel like it needed a sequel, and I'm like, I don't want to go there.
It really didn't.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's on my watch list. I haven't gotten to it yet. So, um, the Tomorrow Times 3, I have not yet read that one, but from what I've heard of it, I can see that. Because that's a little more literary as well, right? I can't remember if you said that, but
And
okay.
the writing styles are similar. It's very much like read between the lines almost.
Yeah.
They have a deeper meaning, and I didn't love the writing in Tomorrow Times 3, but I don't love flowery writing. But again, it had that hidden message that this one kind of had too.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I had one. Oh, what is it called? It's a movie. I think it's The Kingsman. Let me look it up real quick. I'm like doubting everything I say tonight. Sorry. The Kingsman. Is that the right one? Okay, yeah. That might be the sequel. I don't know. There's a few of them, but here's one of the covers. But the Kingsmen. So they're spies. Here, let me just read you the synopsis. So it's British spy. Oh wait, hang on. Oh, this is talking about like the Kingsman franchise. That's interesting. But anyway, it's a really cool movie, and they're like spies, and it's like, so I guess if you like the spy aspect, and like the secret agency with like the secret hidden agenda and kind of the way everything kind of comes together, that's kind of what it reminded me of. Like the storylines are not really similar in any way. But if you liked that aspect of this book, then you'd probably enjoy those movies. I loved them. And like, I love British media to begin with. So that in and of itself kind of was something that I really enjoyed. And it's interesting too that Henry is British. I wasn't thinking of that when I was trying to cast him. It was just based on appearance alone.
Yeah, he is, isn't he? I always forget that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Let's see. 12 Monkeys. I have not read that. Am I picturing the right book? Let me pull it up.
12 Monkeys?
Because if that's the book I'm thinking of, it's, I think, newer. Oh, that's not the book I was thinking of at all. Let me see. I was going to say, did she say anything else about it? This one is, it's from 1995, it looks like. It is a book. Oh.
It's a movie.
It's okay. So do you know, is the book similar? Like, is the movie based off the book, is I guess what I'm trying to say? Because the book said, sent back in time from the year 2035 to 1990 to prevent the apocalypse that destroyed most of Earth. This character lands in a psychiatric ward under the care of a doctor who begins to believe his wild story. Oh, so a time traveler falling, maybe. I'm assuming they fall in love. I don't know. Okay, I could see that. Didn't know there was a book. Okay, does that sound right? That this book would be the one related to the movie? Because that synopsis does sound kind of similar there. I don't know. I don't think I have a movie rec other than Outlander. I've never seen that, never read it, but I know people are obsessed. Like, if you've seen it, you love it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yep, that sounds right. So 12 movies. It's a book or a movie, whichever media you would prefer to consume. Book, though, maybe Time Traveler's Wife. Oh, no, that is my favorite book of all time.
Is it really?
Yes.
It
is a movie too, though. And honestly, I would probably recommend the movie over the book.
Really?
The only reason I say that is because if you read the book now for the first time, I feel like you might be annoyed with the book.
Mm-hmm.
It could be problematic, and there's definitely a lot of trigger warnings. But I guess if none of that concerns you, 100% go for the book. Yeah, I've read it 3 times, I think. I'm obsessed. I love it. And I feel like the movie did a really, really good job with Rachel McAdams and, oh no, what's his name? Oh no, I can't think of his name. I love him though. But yeah, I've not seen the show, and I refuse. I refuse to watch the show.
You have me intrigued.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I always get intrigued when someone says it's their favorite book of all time.
Mm-hmm. But it's so funny though, because it's like I wouldn't recommend it to a wide audience of people.
No, I get that.
But got to get to the library. Thanks for a great discussion. Thank you for joining. It was nice to meet you. Hope to see you again. Alrighty, so we are finally at the end. Hannah, what did you rate this book?
Okay. I took into account everything, and I usually, when I go to rate a book, I take in my whole experience reading the book, and I think I had a lot of issues with the 85% of the book with some of what I've already talked about, how I think that she was just trying to do a lot. Mm-hmm. And I do know what she's trying to do, but I just don't know if it was executed for me well enough. And I just don't think it was really necessarily the book for me. But it did have me at some points, like the romance, the humor. So it did have a lot of aspects that I really did like, but it also had like a lot of aspects that I didn't care for and didn't just want to trudge through. So I think I decided probably on a 2.5.
Really?
I went back and
lower
forth.
than I was expecting.
No, I went back and forth because there were so many parts of it that I really did love, but overall, I think for me, it just didn't do what I wanted it to do.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like if there was less flowery writing, and I think if it was just doing what it was supposed to do, I feel like it would have gotten there for me, but it just didn't. So maybe she'll have something that I'll enjoy in the future, but I'll definitely like keep her on my radar.
Yeah.
Because again, there were many parts of this book that I did enjoy. But that is my rating.
Yeah. And honestly, like, I love that because again, the subjective rating, like for me, a 2.5 is pretty like, oh, I don't know. But like, just, I guess the amount of things that you mentioned that you did enjoy and like how much you loved gore and, I don't know. So I'm sad that you didn't like it as much, but I do love that a lot of the things that I loved about it, you also loved about it. Well, I accidentally, unintentionally shared my rating on my stories yesterday, I think it was. I'm not used
I didn't see it.
Well, that's what I'm hoping for, that a lot of people didn't see it. Because I'm just not used to having the conversation or the discussion like at the beginning of the next month. It's usually the end of the current month. So I wasn't even thinking, and I posted it. I'm like, oh, whoops, that's my rating. But anyway, I rated it 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. I think, I don't know. I'm trying to think like what could have made it a 5-star aside from the 5-star feeling. And I don't know. There's nothing that I can think of that I would have wanted done differently necessarily. Like I said, one of my only complaints was the bigger words and, kind of forcing me to look things up, which can be fun from time to time because you get to learn a new word. But when you're having to do it like 10 times in 30 minutes, like it's like, okay.
Yep.
Yeah. But that's probably my biggest complaint. It was a bit slow in the beginning, but I feel like that's when we really got to dive into Gore and his bridge and like see their relationship blossom and the quirks of who they are as people, and that's kind of where majority of all that humor that we loved was. So yeah, 4 stars. I very much enjoyed it. But like I said, as far as the author, I would really have to be intrigued with the synopsis before I would just like dive into reading her again. So yeah, so that was, I took the dust jacket off, but that was the Ministry of Time. Let me see. Like I said, I will be sure to put the links for all your contacts, your channel and your book club and all that in the description. Next month, we are going to be reading The Water Knife by Paolo Bacigalupi with Gwen of Gwendolyn Kensinger. And that live show is going to be July 1st, 7 p.m. EST like normal. So yeah, thank you everyone for joining. Thank you so much, Hannah, for joining as my co-host.
Thank you for having me. This was so much fun. And I definitely am up for it again if you ever, because I liked branching out. And I think that me not reading sci-fi also affected my rating just because I don't ever read this genre. So I am willing wholeheartedly to try another one.
Well, good. I will definitely keep you on the roster for future. So, all right, everyone. Well, have a wonderful evening, and we will see you next month. Bye.
Bye.